Congratulations and welcome to the 2017 Broadcom Masters application. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. A nomination to the Broadcom Masters program is a huge honor. We are so glad that you've taken the next step in the Broadcom Masters process by opening your application. I'm Allie Stiefel, the program manager for the Broadcom Masters, and I'm here with my colleague, Erin Cummins. We are responsible for the Broadcom Masters, and you will receive many emails from us throughout the application process.
Hi, this is Erin. For each section of the application, we have included a brief video describing what you need to do for each section. We want to show you that the application is not a scary process and can even be fun. We're always here to answer your questions. Email masters@societyforscience.org at any time. Also, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Also, the judges do not see your questions, just Allie and I, so don't worry about impressing us.
So we thought we would start this first webinar with answers to a few basic questions, and then we'll do a basic overview of the application section by section.
So here are some frequently asked questions. Question 1, do I have to enter the same project that won the nomination? Answer, yes. This project earned you the nomination over other students and has been screened by your science fair, and that's also in our official rules.
Question number 2, can judges see how much time I spent on my application? Not at all. The answer to that question is no. Judges cannot see how much time you spent on your application. This does not make any difference in the judging process, whether you spend 1,000,000 hours or only 3 or 4.
Question 3, can I add to my project? Answer, only if you add more trials of the same thing. You cannot change the intent of your project.
Great. The next question, can I enter without a nomination? Unfortunately, no. You must have a nomination from one of our affiliated science fairs across the United States in order to enter the Broadcom Masters. This is a huge honor to be nominated. Only 10% of students in the country receive this honor, so we do keep this process open to those nominated students.
The next question is, I did a team project. Can we share one application? The answer is no. Each team member of a team must complete his or her own application. And that's because the application is about the whole student, not just the project. So we need judges to be able to hear from each member of a team and individually assess their skills. It's possible that one member of a team could make it to the next level while the other doesn't. And this is in case one member also chooses not to submit an application. You will not be penalized if your team member does not submit an application.
Next question, when is the application due? The application is due Wednesday, June 14th, 2017 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So one tip I have for you is definitely be cautious of this time zone. Some of you are located in California, Alaska, Hawaii, Texas, Indiana. Not everyone is on Eastern Time, so just be aware that this application does close 8 p.m. Eastern Time that day.
All right, now we're going to walk you through the basics of the application. This is a quick overview, as we'll have longer videos for each section of the application.
So we'll start first with the external homepage of the application. I'm assuming that if you are watching this webinar, that means you've already set up your account. If for some reason that's not true, what you want to do is click here. If you can see the mouse, I'm clicking on this button. You click here to open your application, and then you need to fill this section out. Your first name, your last name, your email address, or a parent's email address is fine. You can create your own password, anything that you want here, and then type it in again. And then you have to enter your fair password and your username. These two things should be on the back of your nominee packet that your science fair gave to you when you received the invitation to apply. If for some reason you do not have your packet, maybe you lost it, maybe your science fair director hasn't had a chance to give it to you yet, or maybe for some reason the sticker is missing from your packet, definitely let us know. We're here to help you at all times. Email masters@societyforscience.org and just let us know where you're from, what science fair nominated you, and we're happy to provide this information. So once you're done, then you hit register, and you'll be well on your way to getting your application ready.
Once you have registered and signed in, you'll be directed to this internal page. There are several features that we want to point out. The first is the download button.
The download button will appear after you have started one of the sections.
You'll click the download button to see what your final version will look like as a PDF, which is a type of document, and to see if your change is saved. You can also save this document to your computer after you submit. We recommend that you save a final version of your application so that you have it for your records. The next thing that we want to show you is the taskbar, which shows if you have completed all required questions.
As you can see, we've not started this application, so it's at 0%. Throughout our webinars, the taskbar will become more and more complete. The next feature we want to point out to you is our designated email address section. This section allows you to add a parent's email address. It's important to do this if you did not use your parent's email address to register. Whoever you add here will receive emails about your application, and they can see your work but cannot edit it. So there are instructions here in this section where the mouse is moving now that explain how you can add an adult onto your account.
The next button that we want to point out is the submit button, which is what you will do last. In order to submit your application, you must push this button. You can also see now that right now we cannot submit our application because we have not completed all of the sections. If you complete the other sections but do not hit submit, your application will not be considered. This is super important. You'll also receive a confirmation email after you hit the submit button.
And don't worry, we'll show you how to do that in the final webinar of our series here. The next section we wanted to point out is the activity area. So keep scrolling down. Here's the activity area. You can see in this section all of your activity if you have submitted a section, and also any emails that we may have attempted to send to you. We recommend that you check this area occasionally in case you've missed any emails from us. They could be in your spam folder. We send a lot of emails with tips, advice from former finalists, deadline reminders, and more. So they'll always be available here in this section. And this section will grow as you complete more parts of the application.
The last area that we want to point out in this video is the Resources tab. You can click and see the official rules, which were in your nominee packet, our help videos, future webinars we plan to hold to answer frequently asked questions live from entrants like you, and you can download your free prize just for opening an application.
As you can see, right now, there are not too many resources in this tab because we're developing them today. So as you check back throughout the application process, we'll continue to add things here. So we recommend that you check here often. So some final advice to you as you get started on your application. First, I would read this internal homepage thoroughly. There are a lot of instructions here that are hopefully not overwhelming. They're really meant to help outline the process so that you know what to expect. The real work is found under the tasks. So all of these tasks that you can click on, anything that says start, these are all sections of the application that you have to complete. Some of them are very short, some are a little more involved, but you'll learn more about each section in the next couple of videos. Another piece of advice is to type your answers to essay questions in a Word document. This will help manage your thoughts, keep track of the word count, and give you the opportunity to look for spelling errors. Our system does not allow you to do that. There isn't a spell check feature, so I think saving them in the Word document might be helpful. Just an idea, you do not have to do that. But then it also gives you kind of a backup if for some reason anything were to happen.
Another thing that we suggest is just working on a section here or there. You know, it can be overwhelming sometimes to see that you have so many tasks, but there are a few of them that are very easy. So it might surprise you how much you can get done in 1 hour.
Another piece of advice, it's okay to let adults see your answers and to review them for spelling errors, things like that. But this work should come from you, and that is super important. Our judges are pretty good at sniffing out parents. So we want to make sure parents are not too involved, but it's definitely okay to share your work with them.
We also want you to know that you shouldn't take the application too seriously. We really just want you to try. I know that 76% of kids waited until the last day to submit. Many of our finalists are very surprised when they're named finalists because they think that they haven't done as good of a job. But do your best and know that you have a chance if you just submit your application.
Absolutely. And we give away prizes at all levels of the competition, to entrants, to nominees. We do drawings. So it's not just about the top 300 or the top 30. Any student who actually submits an application becomes part of our alumni family. So definitely keep that in mind.
Also, remember that you can always email us questions at masters@societyforscience.org.
Our last thing we wanted to share, we've made these help videos so that we can answer your questions before you even think of them and make this process as easy as possible for you. But watching the videos is totally optional. No one will know that you watched them except for you. So no pressure to memorize every word or do things the exact way we suggest. We encourage you to be creative. We're really just here to help. Thank you for watching. Tune in to our next few videos.